Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle IGN Gamescom Bundle of August 2025. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before we begin, I would like to thank you, the viewers, for watching my silly little videos. I hope they are helpful, and most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. And number 1 we have Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, a vibrant futuristic platformer that blends Y2K nostalgia with modern flair. In this anti-cop roller skating graffiti adventure, you embark on a mission to go all city, overthrowing rival crews while painting the town with your crew's mark. The game captures the essence of late 90s and early 2000s aesthetics with its chunky visuals, bold colors, and banging soundtrack. You'll find yourself immersed in gravity-defying combos, from grinding on rails to pulling off tricks that boost your score. The tagging system, where you spray graffiti via a fun minigame, is both intuitive and rewarding. Each sprawling cityscape is a playground, filled with hidden collectibles, quirky NPCs, and varied challenges. Every skateboard, bike, and pair of rollerblades feels smooth and responsive, modernizing the nostalgic mechanics of Jet Set Radio and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. The world building is quirky and engaging, though the narrative feels a bit thin. The characters lack depth, and the story does not always mesh seamlessly with the gameplay. Still, the city's design and its themed boroughs, like a basketball court ruled by the Flash Prince, keep the game fresh and exciting. Exploring feels dynamic, rewarding creativity and risk-taking at every turn. The soundtrack is quite a feature, with rhythmic electronic beats that elevate every moment. It's a celebration of an era that combines analog grit with digital dreams. Whether you're a nostalgia seeker or a newcomer, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is a thrilling ride through a vividly imagined graffiti-filled world. And number 2 we have Homeworld 3, the third entry in the legendary Space RTS series, bringing back fleet-based 3D battles with new mechanics and terrain-based strategy. The iconic Hegarian mothership is back, launching you into another deep space odyssey filled with perilous skirmishes and tactical decision-making. The campaign follows Imogen's Jet as she retraces the steps of her missing mentor, but the story is forgettable, with dull cutscenes that interrupt the action. Fortunately, the missions themselves shine, pushing you into intense situations, dodging enemies in nebulae, sabotaging factories, and setting up deadly choke points of mines and turrets. Homeworld's 3 biggest change is its cluttered battlefields. Unlike its minimalist predecessors, space is filled with debris and massive structures that serve as both obstacles and strategic opportunities. Battles feel more dynamic as you maneuver fleets through ambush points and fortified positions. However, the added complexity makes unit control trickier, and pathfinding occasionally stumbles, forcing you to micromanage movements. While the campaign is engaging, its heavily scripted AI limits replayability. Skirmishes offer a better challenge, with smarter AI behaving more like a human opponent. War Games mode introduces roguelike mechanics, but its relentless wave of enemies and punishing time constraints make it a frustrating detour from what makes Homeworld great. At its best, Homeworld 3 delivers exhilarating space combat with stunning visuals and deep technical play. But between its weaker story, finicky controls, and experimental missteps, it never fully recaptures the magic of its predecessors. Still, if you crave the epic space battles, this one's worth a look. And number 3 we have ANTONBLAST, a chaotic Wario-inspired 2D platformer that thrives on pure destruction and style. You take control of Anton, a furious hammer-swinging protagonist on a booze-fueled quest to reclaim his stolen spirit collection from none other than Satan. Unlike many modern platformers, ANTONBLAST doesn't ease you in gently. It throws you headfirst into breakneck speed, explosive action, and a steep learning curve that demands precision. Each stage begins with a search for a detonator, hidden deep within winding, obstacle-filled levels. You'll smash boxes, roll through narrow passages, and chain charges together with fluid momentum. Early on, you may feel overwhelmed by Anton's moveset, but once it clicks, the game flows beautifully. Few platformers manage to capture that euphoric sense of rhythm when everything connects, and ANTONBLAST nails it. Stages aren't just about raw speed either. They are cleverly designed mazes filled with gimmicks like destructible colored blocks, shooting galleries, and even a pinball transformation. Once you hit the detonator, the game flips the script, forcing a frantic time-limited dash back to the start, testing both your memory and reflexes. Boss battles are another highlight, with massive multi-phase fights that wouldn't feel out of place in a JRPG. The final encounter in particular is an adrenaline-pumping test of mastery that feels incredibly rewarding. Visually, ANTONBLAST embraces a grungy 90s-inspired pixel art style, pair of expressive animations, and a pounding soundtrack that keeps the intensity high. If you're ready for a tough, stylish platformer with explosive personality, ANTONBLAST is a blast. At number 4 we have Victory Heat Rally, a pixel art arcade racing game that channels the spirit of 80s and 90s racers with high-speed thrills, tight corners, and a neon-soaked sense of nostalgia. Developed by Skydevil Palm and published by Platonic Friends, it's all about pure unfiltered fun, the kind you'd expect from a PS1 or N64 cabinet-era classic. You jump into championship mode, racing through multiple tours with various objectives like overtaking cars, slaloming through gates, and nailing drifts. Characters add some flavor, but you're really picking based on their cars, which you'll upgrade with tire and spring choices. Winning races with a character unlocks new paint jobs, a simple but rewarding progression system. Arcade and time trial modes offer more classic gameplay, including a high-score style system that lets you punch in your initials after each cup. There's even split-screen multiplayer for retro couch competition. Oddly though, there's no single race mode outside of Championship, which feels like a missed beat, even if it's true to the arcade roots. Driving is the real standout here. It is fast, responsive, and just plain fun. The game encourages you to use a controller, and once you swap to triggers for acceleration and braking, it feels smooth and natural. You'll drift, boost, and blaze past rivals with a satisfying sense of speed that never lets up. If you crave pixelated speed, wild tracks, and 90s arcade vibes, Victory Heat Rally delivers all that and more. It is a vibrant, energetic throwback that'll leave you grinning. At number 5 we have Lost Eidolons, a tactical RPG that combines strategic grid-based combat with deep RPG elements. As Eden, a young mercenary, you lead a rebellion to overthrow a cruel emperor. Throughout 27 chapters, you experience combat, character relationships, and world building that add to the game's depth. The combat system is where Lost Eidolons truly shines. You'll encounter both human and monster enemies, each requiring different tactics. Humans have a weapon weakness system, while monsters require you to exploit rotating weak points for maximum damage. You can also customize your characters with multiple weapons, adding flexibility in combat. Magic is made more engaging with environmental interactions, like wet enemies reducing fire damage, but taking increased lightning damage. This adds a layer of strategy, particularly for mages. In between battles, you'll explore camp, interact with allies, and take on side quests. This provides a welcome break from combat and allows you to learn more about the world. A fast travel system keeps exploration manageable, so you won't get bogged down. While the story can feel lacking at times, and the character models appear emotionless, Lost Eidolons is an impressive debut for an indie studio. It offers in-depth customization, challenging combat, and plenty of RPG elements, making it an appealing choice for fans of tactical RPGs. Though it is not perfect, its strategic depth and mechanics will keep you engaged. At number 6 we have Pyrene, a roguelike deck builder where card-based strategy meets thoughtful storytelling wrapped in a unique Basque mythological setting. You play as one of several villagers, each with distinct mechanics, working to reclaim your home from the demon-summoning Pyrene. Every run takes you through procedurally generated biomes made up of 9x9 danger zones and rest tiles, with combat unfolding as a puzzle, each card a tile, and every move a careful decision. You collect and upgrade cards, equip artifacts, and build synergies that carry over multiple in-game days. Between turns, enemies take bleed or poison damage, and once you rest, the board resets and the search for the votive altar continues. You're always moving, managing risk, damage, and resources as you clear tiles, hunt upgrades, and survive just one more day. But Pyrene does not just stop at tactical combat. Outside the battlefield, you'll rebuild your ruined village with wood gathered during runs. Every structure adds new layers to future attempts, unlocking zones, modifying gameplay, and offering permanent upgrades. It is this blend of short-term decisions and long-term investment that gives the game its addictiveness. Visually, Pyrene shines with hand-drawn art and an atmospheric soundtrack that elevates the experience. If you're a genre newcomer, you'll find accessible modifiers to ease you in. If you're a veteran, you appreciate the strategic depth and custom difficulty. Whether or not you can pronounce its name, Pyrene is a standout in the genre, a refreshing layered take on deck building, where every card you play shapes your fate. At number 7 we have The Expanse, a Telltale series, a narrative-driven adventure game set in the beloved universe of The Expanse. Playing as Camilla Drummer, you explore her backstory as the captain of the Artemis. While the visuals are stunning and the voice work by Kara Gee is stellar, you may find the story feels more like an enhancement of the show than a meaningful standalone addition. For fans of the series, the references and details will resonate, but if you're unfamiliar, the experience might feel less engaging. Telltale introduces new gameplay mechanics, like zero-gravity movement and minigames, adding a refreshing layer to the traditional formula. However, these elements can feel underdeveloped, with collectibles like salvage ultimately serving no real purpose. Choices, a cornerstone of Telltale games, feel less impactful here, as major decisions rarely alter the overall narrative in a meaningful way. Clocking in about 6 hours, the journey is short, especially compared to other Telltale offerings. While the beautiful visuals and immersive world building might justify the playthrough for die-hard fans, others may feel the content doesn't quite match its value. The Expanse, a Telltale series, is a step forward in gameplay for the studio, but does not achieve the narrative depth of classics like The Wolf Among Us. If you're passionate about The Expanse, you will appreciate this glimpse into Drummer's past. For everyone else, it might be better to wait for a deeper, more compelling entry in the franchise. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is a real mixed bag. On one hand, you've got absolute bangers like ANTONBLAST, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, and Victory Heat Rally that make the lineup tempting. But on the other hand, the price is rough, and a few of these games have already dropped in choice. If you're chasing new experiences, the variety is solid, but veterans may feel deja vu. The bottom line is, they're great games, but questionable value. Grab it if the headliners hit your wish list. Skip if not. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.